We're back at Hershey on the 31st of May. It's about 7. The park closes at 9, so just a short vlog, but we'll probably be back tomorrow, so we'll probably put this video in with the other video. But yeah, let's get in the park and see what all we can do in the short time we have. Hey guys, now we're getting on Twizzler's Twisted Gravity. So yeah, let's get on it and let's see how it is, because at the past holder preview, let's just say I wasn't quite impressed and it wasn't quite up to my expectations. So let's get another ride on it and see how it is after that. And also on the app wait time, it said it was about an hour and 20 minute, or 120 minute wait rather. And of course the line isn't that long, and we got on about a half hour ago. We got into the queue, and we're basically on the ride now. So it's the Hersheypark app really doesn't update that well, and the wait times aren't that accurate, so I wouldn't recommend using it really at all. Okay guys, we got off of Twizzler's Twisted Gravity, and I must say that I definitely recommend getting a second ride, because that second ride was a lot better than the first ride by a big margin. And you know, second rides are definitely underrated. You gotta get 2 rides on a ride before you can form an opinion. That's what I thought. I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna be better on the second ride, and it was. So yeah, but yeah. Okay, we came over to Spring Creek Barbecue and got the mac and cheese and the pulled pork sandwich. Okay guys, the food was good as usual, and now we're gonna get on Storm Runner, so let's get on it. Hey guys, just got off of 2 rides on Storm Runner, and of course, like usual, just, you know, great ride. Wasn't that different from many other rides, I didn't think, but you know, just been a while since I've been on it. I believe the last time I was on it was probably, I don't even think I went on it last year, so probably 2 years ago. Probably 2 years ago was the last time I've ridden it, so, you know, great ride. Of course, the only intimate accelerator left in the Northeast. Hopefully it stays for a while, because then, you know, if this goes away, then there will be no intimate accelerators around. Of course, Top Thrill 2. You know, it used to be Top Thrill Dragster, and it was an intimate accelerator. Now it's Zamperla, whatever you want to call it. And of course, Ka was torn down, so yeah. I mean, just a great ride, and definitely a ride that I'd recommend getting on it. You know, whenever you come to Hershey, because its days are probably numbered at this point. Probably only a few years left in it. So if you come to Hershey, it's a definite ride that you have to get on, because, yeah. I mean, it's really become a rare ride. But overall, just a great ride on it. No complaints. Okay guys, now we're heading out. So I might come back tomorrow, so if I do, you know, we'll go on to tomorrow. But if I don't come back tomorrow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you go down and subscribe. And this visit, it wasn't the best visit. I mean, it was a good visit, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like it made me, you know, a little like, obviously Hersheypark isn't the best park out there, but, you know, it wasn't the best visit. It wasn't the best visit, but I did have some fun on the rides here and got a good meal. So yeah, it was an okay visit, I guess I'll call it. For Hersheypark, it was like a mid-visit. But hey guys, we're back again today on June the 1st of 2025, Sunday, June the 1st of 25. Of course, we were here yesterday, shorter visit, so I decided just to combine yesterday's visit and today's visit into one video. So it's about 5 o'clock, so we'll have some time today, but not a ton. But yeah, let's get in the park and have some fun. Hey guys, now we came to Nathan's and got the cheese dog and fries. So let's dig in. Okay guys, this is insane. So of course there's the Milton S. Hershey fountain over there. I'm not sure what the exact name it is, but it's obviously honoring Milton S. Hershey. Well, we were walking by it and somebody was on the phone with somebody to meet them or whatever. I don't know what they were doing, but they said the Walt Disney fountain. Yeah, the Walt Disney fountain. I don't think this is Disney World. I think this is Hersheypark. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is at Hersheypark. Maybe it is Disney World, but as far as I know, it's Hersheypark, and that's the Milton S. Hershey fountain, not the Walt Disney fountain. I don't know. Okay, guys, so we finished at Nathan's. It was a good hot dog. I think it's one of the better experiences I've had at Nathan's. The hot dog was probably better than usual, and the fries, of course, were just as good as they've ever been. I think they're the best fries out there. Yeah, the fries at Nathan's are probably the best fries out there. Not even at the park, like in general, at any food, and any restaurant at all. Probably the best fries I've ever had. Yeah, these steps here, I think they're probably better than the Skyrush pathway. I mean, if you're trying to come up here to Coal Cracker or to Great Bear, and you're at the front of the park, you'd have to go down there by Comet, by Skyrush, come around up by Super Duper Looper, and then up to Coal Cracker, or you could just walk over the bridge and up the steps. So ignore the millions of dollars they spent on this ride. I mean, you could just ignore the ride. The steps are well worth that, however millions of dollars they spent on the ride. Hey guys, now we're getting on the Reese's Tower. Hey, so we just did one ride on Reese's Triple Tower and one ride on Kiss's Triple Tower, and I must say that that's probably the best ride I've ever had on the Reese's Triple Tower. It was actually the first time I've ever been on the Kiss's Triple Tower, but yeah, I definitely think the Reese's Triple Tower is better than the Hershey's Triple Tower. I didn't used to think that, but today it's showing me that, yeah, it is better, because it's more focused on going up and down and giving you more airtime compared to the Reese's Tower, compared to the Hershey's Tower, which is more of a traditional drop tower where, you know, most of it is just dropping down. Now you do go up, you do get launched up for a little bit of it, but it's more of a traditional drop tower than the Reese's Tower or the Kisses Tower. And for whatever reason, especially this year, the Triple Towers, their lines have been a lot shorter than previous years. And I think that may have to do that. Twizzlers Twisted Gravity just opened up, so a lot more of the attention is going to that. So it's going to have shorter lines. But not just surprised, because previous years, every year, whenever you come, usually it has a long line every once in a while. But this year, it's been mostly short lines. So we'll just have to see throughout the rest of the season, does that stay true, where all of the lines on the Triple Towers are shorter than previous years. But, you know, we'll just have to see. Okay guys, now we're getting on Fahrenheit, and should be a pretty quick wait. I mean, it's not that long of a wait, especially since they started doing this 3-train operation since, 2023, so it really helps it be a lot more efficient, lines move quicker, so yeah, 15-25 minute wait maybe, yeah, and then we'll get on Fahrenheit. Hey guys, we just got off of Fahrenheit, and that was my first ride on it of the season, and it was probably a perfect first ride. First of all, we got the back seat, which is probably the best seat on the ride, but it was just good as usual. But other than that, I mean, it's just a great ride. You know, it just reminds you of how great Hershey's collection of rides are. They have probably one of the best ride lineups in the Northeast, especially since you know, all these other parks are shutting down so many rides. You know, King of the Caw, Top Thrill 2, or Top Thrill Dragster rather. So yeah, it's just a great ride. It really is one of the best rides at Hershey. You could say it's the best, but I mean, obviously Skyrush and Wildcat's Revenge are good rides too. I feel like this Storm Runner, they're pretty close in terms of how good they are. You know, obviously they're completely different. The reason I say they're so close is because they're different types of ride experiences. So this is really good in terms of the, you know, inversions and positive and negative G's. This is great for that. But of course, Storm Runner is more about the launch, and it's a really good ride. And you know, had a great first ride of the season, and definitely going to be getting on it a lot more this season. But yeah, just good as usual. Great ride. Okay, guys, now we're going to go on Wildcat, so let's get on it. Okay, guys, so just got off Wildcat's Revenge, and actually I got stuck on the end brake run. So yeah, and actually they were saying that. So they ended up letting everybody off on the train I was on, and the maintenance people were saying that they'd get yelled at for doing it. So I think usually Hersheypark's procedure is to, when you know a train gets stuck, is fix the fault on the computer or whatever is wrong, and then send the train through. They don't tend to evac compared to other parks. The procedure usually is to correct the fault and then send the train through, but you know, you can't always do that. They just thought, you know, it'd take too long, so they don't want people having to wait on the brakes, so they just evac everybody. I mean, it's not just, what, 20-30 foot walk, quick evac, just go around the brake runs to the exit, so it's not a big deal really, but they don't tend to like to do that, you know, especially for safety reasons. And you know, it's just not their procedure, which I don't know if it's good or bad, but yeah. Anyway, so, oh wow, and not even a few minutes later, now the train is stuck up on the lift. Obviously it's an empty train, but, and one thing I did notice on the ride was that the lift motor is acting a little weird, because it used to be, you know, after you go through the pre-lift section of the ride, come to the lift hill, if you have a little speed, then you slow down a little bit because you build up that speed from going through the pre-lift section, and then you know, go back to a speed going up. But this, it kind of, you were going fast halfway up the lift, and then it went real slow, and then it kind of sped up a little bit to the top. So the lift motor is acting a little weird. So I wonder if the lift motor might be bad, and not to worry anybody, because it's completely safe. The computers will catch it if the lift motor is, you know, malfunctioning, and it, you know, it'll stop the ride on one of the brake runs on the lift or on one of the brake runs. So it's completely safe, but you know, I hope it's not a long downtime. They close it, you know, for a few days or a few weeks. I hope they get it figured out. If it is a lift motor, hopefully they get that ordered quickly from RMC and get the new lift motor in. But I have no idea what the problem is, but it definitely has been going down a lot lately. Okay guys, now we're gonna get on to Super Duper Looper, so let's get on it. Okay, just got off of Super Duper Looper, and that was another ride that I hadn't ridden yet this season. So yeah, got on it. You know, not much to say, just a normal ride on Super Duper Looper. Of course, it's a great ride. But yeah, just a classic ride. And I believe next year might be its Next year might be its 50th anniversary, I think. Because I believe it was built in 1976. So yeah, next year will probably be its 50th anniversary. So it'd be great. See if they'll do anything for it. Maybe repaint the trains or something like that. Give it a new paint job. I don't know. Okay, guys, just got off of Skyrush. I got 2 rides on Skyrush. And like I've said in previous visits, I do feel like Skyrush has developed a little bit of a rattle or a little bit of a shake. I mean, it's not that bad, it's just at 2 different points. Like towards the end when you're doing that one sharp turn to come back, and then I think towards the brake run. So it's not that bad, it's just 2 points. but it does have a little bit of a shake or a rattle. But other than that, obviously, I definitely think Skyrush has changed a lot in the past year or two. From, you know, 2 years ago, would have ridden Skyrush, and then you hadn't ridden it till today. Major difference, especially since I got the newer strengths last year. But even not that, just the way the ride is overall, it really has changed. I'm not saying it's necessarily for the better or for the worse. I just think it still is a great ride, but it has changed a lot. So if you haven't ridden it in a few years, you definitely want to get on it to experience it. It's definitely a lot different. Okay guys, came over to 1906 Grill, got the chicken tenders and fries. I originally wanted the cheese curds, but right as we got up to the place where you pick up the food, they said, oh, we don't have any cheese curds left anymore, so had to get the fries. But I would have gone somewhere else, but by the time we could get our second meal, it was too late to go anywhere else, because 1906 Grill and what Nathan's over there are open generally 15 minutes past park close. So yeah.